makes you feel the most vulnerable?
I mean, so many things make me feel so vulnerable. But I think one of the things that makes me feel really vulnerable, which is a good thing and a bad thing, is the idea that I might be letting people down. And I think as a chronic people pleaser, this is something I'm actually trying to work on. Learning to say no, setting boundaries, protecting my personal space has been a real goal of mine this year and something that I'm constantly working on to get better at. But I think it does make me feel very vulnerable to think of the idea that I might be letting anyone down or disappointing them.
Brandon literally can't sit down in their chair where like the soundboard is because Gato keeps sitting in their chair. And when Brandon tried to move Gato, he literally just hissed at them. Oh, it's their world. We're just living in it. I will say I'm filming this intro after I filmed with our guest who just left for this episode. And she like loved having the cats in the space, and I just love that so much because I swear it makes everything better. Anyways, hi, hello, how are you doing? My name's Melinda. I never say that in the beginning of the episodes, actually. I'm the host of the Beauty Manifest. Um, Today we have Dr. Joyce Park, and this conversation was really beautiful. There's definitely tears in this episode. Common thread of moms always come up on this platform, but um, I think it's supposed to. I think it's meant to. And it was a really powerful conversation. She brought a lot of themes to the surface that we haven't necessarily tapped into on the Beauty Manifest yet. So I was very grateful for that. And it was so cool to hear her story. I was telling her when she was leaving, I was just like, your experience, like, and how it all connects and has made you who you are is so interesting. So this is a great episode. I really, really enjoyed filming it. I hope you guys love it. I hope you check out her hair care brand, her scalp care brand as well, that we talk about throughout the episode. And yeah, just give her some love. I mean, such an incredible educator, such an incredible empath and doctor. I think it's really inspiring to talk to doctors who are in the field doing the work, who are really leading with empathy, like so beautifully. And that is such the ethos behind her brand, as she'll get into. So, um, yeah, enjoy this one, and I'll see you at the end. So thank you so much. I'm so excited to meet you. I was looking at
So
your page and I
excited.
was just like, this is going to be fun.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me here. I mean,
Yes.
this whole conversation about mental health and beauty, it's one that we don't talk about enough. And I think coming from it from a derm perspective, but also a
Yes.
creator perspective, like I've had many ups and downs with it. So yeah, I'm just excited to have
I'm
this
really
chance to talk
excited
about
to
it.
dig in with a skin professional, someone who has worked with so many faces and so many skin types and hair types too
Yeah.
now.
Yes,
Now that you're looking at the
absolutely.
scalp and developing that for your line and really what the experience is with the humans experiencing these things, you know,
Yeah.
like I know for me growing up with acne is very emotional. And it's not a fly coming
Unpaid actor. The fly is the unpaid actor. How
Well, there's nothing I
rude.
can do about that. We'll see if she comes back.
We'll swat her away.
But yes, you're completely on the nose. That's exactly what I was thinking as well. And I'm so excited to dig in there. But before we get in too far, I always like to ask my guests, if you will, to introduce yourself in your own words. Because I can sit here and read your bio, but I think we're so much more than what our bio says. And when we get to kind of express ourselves, the energy comes through. So if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and just
Yeah.
saying a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I'm Joyce Park, born and raised in California. I am a dermatologist. I'm also a creator at Tea with MD, and I've been doing that for, oh my gosh, 15 years.
Wow.
Before the term influencer was even a thing. I'm one of the grandmother derms on social media. Yeah, started when I was in med school. So I was like one of the,
years.
I know.
You were ahead of the curve.
I was a blogger.
That's really
started off
impressive.
as a blogger.
That's so cool.
So excited to talk about that.
Yes.
Also now founder of
Yes.
Kerativ, which is a scalp first hair care brand that combines science-backed ingredients with that more elevated, luxurious
It's beautiful.
feel.
It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
And also mom of two.
Oh my
I have a
gosh.
6-year-old and a 2-year-old. And
When I talk to founders and we were just talking about this off camera, like when I talk to founders and they have kids, I'm like, I can barely take care of myself and my cats. I don't know how you do it.
I barely take care of myself. Well, we can also talk about that, but it takes a whole village, a whole village. We have a lot of support. I have a very supportive hands-on husband. We moved my parents over. His parents moved over.
That's amazing.
We have a lot of help.
Oh, fantastic.
And that helps a lot.
That's awesome. And just to have that like community and like connection with your family every day, like as part of your routine, I think is really healthy and healing oftentimes.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It has been the biggest blessing. So
I have so many questions. I don't even know where to start, but I think a really good place to start would be with what you brought up is your work as a dermatologist and how that relates to mental health and the experiences that you've had working with different clients. And is that at all part of what kind of fuels your work? What inspired you to create your brand, I would imagine?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you are human and like that's an emotional experience.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when people think about their appearance, others can think, oh, that's a very superficial thing.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, your appearance just ties so much into your sense of identity, your sense of self, and also your sense of confidence. And being a dermatologist, I see so many patients come in, and I can tell from the moment they walk in how affected they are by their skin condition, their scalp condition, their hair condition.
Yeah.
And it is a very emotional process, whether it's acne or psoriasis or whether it's hair shedding or hair thinning.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think within dermatology, especially because the afflictions are so visually prominent, people feel that very, very deeply.
Mm-hmm.
It also makes them motivated to be compliant with the things that I try to help them with, which I enjoy, right? So that there's that synergy between my patients and me, and we create a plan together, and they are very motivated to follow that plan. And so stemming from my experience with patients being so emotional about their skin diseases or their hair diseases, that's kind of where the idea for Kerativ came from, was because I saw hundreds of patients. I sat with them as they cried about their scalp conditions, about their hair loss, and that really is where this idea came from.
This is making me think, there's this.
Sorry, can I have a tissue?
Oh, of course. No, they're right there for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we always have tissues on hand in this podcast.
Oh, I love that.
Whether it's like a little allergies or often tears.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Of course. There's this creator that I want to introduce you to. It's at Hair Loss Bonita. I think that's her handle. She is wonderful, and she has experienced hair thinning. She's very vulnerable, speaks very openly about it. Just so inspiring, and I think you two would really connect. Side note, but I want to send you her information. She's wonderful, and I think that you would definitely align in like your goals behind this brand. It's listening to her speak and listening to you speak, and I have, my sister's hair loss after pregnancy. It's just there's so many different ways in which that you can experience that, and it's so emotional, and people don't talk about it, and then they get lost, and there's so many options out there that it becomes overwhelming. And I think that's why when people come to dermatologists, like you said, they are motivated to work with you, but you probably become a bit of, it's like hairstylists and makeup artists too. You become a bit of a therapist with your clients, right?
1,000%.
Because it's like so much more comes out than just I have thinning on my head. How do you navigate those conversations? I mean, I sense that you're very empathetic. I can feel that energy from you already, but how do you navigate that? Like, how do you also like hold boundaries around that?
That's a good question. I'm definitely a strong empath. And I didn't know
I
that
can
that was
sense
a
that,
thing
Yeah.
until I was an adult. And I realized that other people may not reflect those emotions back to me the way I send
I
out.
know.
And so that was very jarring for me to
Same.
experience. But and I can also sense that you're an empath as well. But I'm the type of derm that will cry in the room with my patients, because if they are crying and sending their emotions out to me, I will also cry with them.
You're my people.
And so it can be hard sometimes to maintain those boundaries. But at the same time, I do feel like I think it's a strength that I can connect with my patients in that way.
Absolutely.
And I can feel what they're feeling, like their frustration or their sadness or their this loss of self that they're feeling as they sense their hair falling out or as they struggle with their skin issues. Like I feel that very, very deeply. And I think one of the reasons why hair loss patients in particular and I connect is because one of the major causes of hair loss that I see is telogen effluvium.
Ooh, tell me about
this
that.
is a condition where your body goes through a major physical or emotional shock or stressor.
Okay.
One of the most common examples of this is postpartum hair loss, where your body goes through this huge physical and emotional shock of childbirth.
Yeah.
And it resets
Yes, literally.
for 100%. And it resets your hair follicles so that they all kind of go into the telogen phase
Okay.
more than the typical percentage that's in the telogen phase.
Okay.
And then about 3 to 4 months after this huge stressor, you'll notice massive hair fall. And that's what we see with postpartum telogen effluvium. But this can happen in other instances as well.
Yeah, like a stressful situation in your life. Could it? Wow.
Yes. So a big emotional stressor. Like I've had patients tell me about a divorce, losing their job, losing a loved one in their family.
Yeah.
Or it could be something physical like going through surgery.
Wow.
Yes. Or going through major weight loss, like people going on GLP-1s. That can be a trigger for telogen effluvium as well. And so when I talk to my patients, when they come to see me for hair loss, one of the questions I always ask is, have you undergone a major physical or emotional stressor within the last 6 months?
Shouldn't that be the question that like any doctor asks first?
True.
I love that. I love that starting point. It's like, because our mental health, whether it's physical or not, what they went through, our mental health impacts our physical and vice versa. So it's all connected.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
It's all connected. And so I definitely ask my patients this
that.
question. And that opens the floodgates because
Yes.
I rarely,
Then you're in a therapy session.
rarely will I ever have a patient be like, no, nothing stressful has happened in the last 6 months. Like everyone has been through
I feel like
something
if
stressful.
someone did respond that way, they would be like, kind of like blinking, tweaking, like they're like, they're trying so hard.
Yeah. And so that always kind of opens the door for us to talk about some of these issues that they've undergone. And most of the time we can identify something that might have caused or kind of triggered their follicles into this telogen phase for them to then experience this shedding afterwards.
I bet that does something for them as well internally to like be like, okay, I didn't really think that maybe this experience or what I went through is what's impacting this, and taking some of the like, not that you would automatically assume losing your hair is your fault, but I do think that when we experience certain things that aren't society accepted in a way, like hair loss or acne or things that are not great, shame can come with it. And like we feel like it even subconsciously, like it can be our fault. So I think that's really beautiful that you're actually resetting that structure in their mind. And it's like, no, what's going on that's impacting you? Like, this is not your fault. This is a situation that you're in that's hopefully temporary.
Right.
Not all the time, depending on what's causing the hair loss, and we'll find a solution to work through this.
Exactly.
And
so
that's
I want to
really
get
empowering.
to the underlying cause of
Yeah.
what really is triggering the hair loss, whether we need to do blood tests, whether we obviously like I ask about all of their history, any emotional triggers, any stressors in their lives. I also ask about diet. Are they having enough protein, enough iron in their lives? And I ask about styling habits too, and also product use to see if there's any habits in their lives that we can tweak or maybe have them alter their habits a little bit.
Yes, like the girls who would do like this super slicked back ponytail
Yes.
day after day after day, and then all of a sudden their hairline starts receding, and they're like, "What's going on?"
Yes, that slicked back bun look, that clean girl aesthetic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like so bad for your hair if you do it every single day. And it's no fault of theirs. You know, I used to go to sleep wearing a tight ponytail. And I don't know why I would do that. It was not even comfortable. But this is in high school.
I have too, I get it.
I would also go to bed wearing my uniform like the night before.
Stop.
So that in the morning I could just wake up and roll out of bed, brush my teeth and go to school.
I kind of love that. The way as a kid you will literally do anything to sleep in long, like anything to sleep in longer.
I went to an all-girls high school,
Okay.
and it was so interesting because I feel like we just didn't care as much about our appearance in that traditional, conventional way.
Lovely.
And that's why
wonderful.
I would go to school with my like uniform all rumpled from the night sleeping before.
I've always kind of wondered that about like an all-girls school, if it would be more or less pressure. I guess less makes sense. But
yeah, I think it
you
depends
never
on the
know.
school.
Yeah,
You're right.
Like you never
I think
know
it
the
depends on the
culture.
school.
But that's really cool that you had that experience where it's like you didn't have to care as much. Because I think about being a young kid in like elementary school, and I spent way too much time caring. Way too much time looking in the mirror, feeling defeated, not doing the plan or whatever because I was picking myself apart. And it's so sad to think about younger kids feeling that way.
I do think with social media too,
Yes, oh
the
my
type
goodness.
of pressure that kids and teens feel for their appearance is on a much higher level, and it's like many times more magnified because of all this constant bombardment of all these images and videos on social media.
Now we're moving into AI and like it's undetectable, and I know it's so tough, but I'm really glad, you know, that's why that's why I've created this platform. That's why I'm so happy to have people like you come on and talk about these things, because I think the more we just talk about it on social media, even when all that other difficult stuff is happening there, we can counter it. We can create like that. We can ground people back into reality.
Yes.
Outside of like that curated kind of perfected.
Oh my God. And I'm glad you brought up AI. I was actually talking to my makeup artist this morning, Kelly, about AI generated content.
Yeah.
And there's multiple different types of AI generated content that have come up on my feed. But there's two that I want to talk about that have just blown my mind. So one are AI creators with perfect glass skin, not one blemish, not one acne mark, no wrinkles. And their whole content is like, let me show you how to achieve my skin. Not real, right?
Yeah.
Not real skin. They're fake. But the comments are all like, oh my gosh, how you look so amazing. You look perfect. Send me your skincare routine. And
So
I'm like,
toxic.
how?
Yeah.
Like you're literally comparing yourself to something that's not real.
Yes.
Okay. So that's one class that I want to bring up. The second one, which makes me so upset from a derm perspective, are AI influencers capitalizing off of the vulnerability of skin disease. And this is crazy to me.
Wait, yeah, double tap on that.
Yes. So I've seen at least 3 or 4 creators pop up on my feed where at first glance, I wasn't quite sure what was going on. So one creator had a birthmark over like half of the body.
Okay.
But the birthmark was interesting because it almost looked like flowers. Like it didn't look like like anything I've ever seen.
Gotcha.
And I was like, that's interesting. I didn't know. The body doesn't tend to make patterns like that. Second creator was moles, like tons of moles all over the body, but in a very
I can give her some of mine.
interesting. I'm a very moley person as well.
I have so many cut off my body as well. Sorry.
But this creator had like moles all over her body in a very distinctive pattern. And these are just the 2 I can think of off the top of my head, but their videos were all like, I was made fun of and bullied for my skin problems my whole life. And of course, aside from these things,
because it's not real.
aside from the moles or the birthmarks, these AI influencers are extremely attractive, thin, conventionally attractive influencers. And then the comments, I mean, the comments are all like, don't worry, girl, like you're beautiful, you got this. And so they're using that vulnerability and making content about it to try to elicit sympathy for them being different. And that just, honestly, it breaks my heart because I see patients who are actually dealing with this and who were actually bullied for this and teased their whole lives.
That's infuriating.
And then to have fake content being generated in order to manipulate that vulnerability, it really upset me.
It really upsets me hearing you say this, and I'm really glad that you bring it up so that we can just create some more awareness around it. It's become so frustrating, and I can resonate with you as a mental health advocate because I've talked about this on the podcast a little bit, but I used to manage Sephora's social platforms for their video programming. And so I'd be behind the camera and I'd look at the analytics and I'd strategize on the content we're going to create, what's working, what's not, how people are responding. And I started to see that the more authentic and vulnerable someone can be on camera, the less bullying happens, the less negative comments. It's like they recognize that there's a real human being. If they say like, oh, my mom told me this or this, versus just talking about the product.
Yeah.
And I started to coach talent on set to be more like that so that we could limit the amount of, negative engagement.
Yeah.
And then stepping in front of the camera myself, putting myself out there in the same way, like being like, okay, I know what works and I know what feels good to me and what's on my shoulders. And then you started to see the trickle-down effect, I think, from people in the beauty world especially starting to recognize the advantage of being vulnerable on social media, which is both beautiful but also sticky for like what you're talking about. And I always think of this one distinct video that it sticks with me. It was this mother, and she was with her, I think, son, a young boy, probably like 6. And she thought that she was filming on Instagram in her stories, but she actually went live on mistake, I guess. And so like someone caught the recording and reposted it and it went viral. And she was fake crying and she stops and she turns to her kid and scolds him for not looking sad enough.
I think I saw this. I saw
And
this
it made
when
me
it
so
came out.
sick.
Yeah.
Like it makes me so sick that. But of course, like look at our world. Like of course, people greed and just getting ahead and power. Like people lack the self-awareness and the consciousness of the repercussions on people and the care. And it's like the empathy, the empathy.
As you were talking about this, I was thinking that what these creators, fake creators, are doing, or what that mom was doing, they're empathy farming. I've like never even, I just like came up with that term.
We just coined
Should
that.
I trademark that?
Yes, empathy farming.
Empathy farming.
That's exactly what
And
it is.
It's so sad because it takes a lot for people to actually be vulnerable and actually share parts of themselves that they hide from the outside world. And it really takes away from that authenticity.
Yeah.
When people are doing things like that.
Oof. Good conversation.
So good.
I love that.
Then those poor people will have to deal with someone else not caring about their condition because they're like, oh, I saw someone online with it way worse than you.
Yes.
But that person wasn't even real.
So bad. It's so bad. And it
How
even
confusing.
fooled me for a few moments at first.
Oh, I know there's
because
content
I was
that...
very confused. But then I was like, this can't be real. Like the body doesn't create birthmarks that look like
flowers. But you're
flowers.
a professional.
Exactly.
And you're still questioning it. Like
because
that's
it
how
looked
scary
real.
it is. That's how scary it is. Like if you're looking at someone's body marking and you're like, I know that's not like from a professional point of view, like I would never know, It's just, it's frightening. And I think this is going to be the next advancement of like kind of our collective efforts of humankind to figure out how we're engaging with one another. We've built these incredible platforms that have created globalization and connection and community, but there's a lot of bumps we got to iron out, and I think it's picking up speed in such a big way, and so it's a little concerning, but I think the more people, especially in the beauty industry, that are having these kinds of conversations, it's so important because I know it'll impact so much more, but I really feel like that's going to be one of the greatest impacts is the beauty standard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with women, especially, it affects everyone, of course, but with women being up against so much right now as it is, it's like, we don't need to add to that.
I know.
You know, I think we all kind of feel that on our shoulders a little bit if we're trying to do the right thing. So I appreciate you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Please.
Just as we're chatting, because I struggle with this too, but what is your relationship with social media? Because I know we are on it for work as well as, for enjoyment. And so, what is your relationship with social media? How do you set your boundaries with it? And how does it affect your mental health?
Yeah. No, thank you for asking. It's been a roller coaster. It ebbs and flows, my boundaries with it and my relationship with it. I'll go through phases sometimes where I feel like I'm really just going on there to post what I want to post and then exit. And I'll get into that groove and it'll be good. But then like lately I've been a lot more consumed in it. And I'm like, my go-to is I am such an advocate for social media detoxes. I think once a month at least, it's very important that we take minimum 2 to 3 days completely off of social. So for example, with my podcast right now, I'm a mental health advocate. I like to practice what I preach.
Yeah.
I actually only post 3 weeks a month, and that's intentional because that fourth week gives me the opportunity to disconnect a little bit. I might still schedule a post or two, and maybe one day I will post every week because I'll have a bigger team that can help me with it. But yeah, social media detoxes has been a constant for me, and noticing when I'm cycling into scrolling too much and getting caught in it. It's like, okay, I need to delete the app. I literally delete the app from my phone.
Really?
Yes.
I've never done that.
I delete it from my phone, but make sure if you delete it from your phone, if you have any drafts saved,
That's
will
right.
delete your drafts.
That's right.
Like a good hot tip there. But yeah, I have to delete it from my phone and then I'll re-download it in a few days. And that's been massive. But girl, I am an onion and I have been peeling the layers off of my onion for years and figuring out, what my relationship with the beauty standard is, the expectations I have for myself, self-love and acceptance for being a human being, not a human doing, as it applies to all the things we do to ourselves to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And there's been so much shadow work that has come with that and really looking at the dark depths of myself. And I think that oftentimes that sounds intense when we're talking about social media, but it's a huge part of it. Like shadow work is a huge part of experiencing social media because you're comparing yourself constantly. And then if you can take that awareness of like, oh, I'm comparing myself to this person, what about them is triggering me?
Right.
And then taking that and being like, that's my shadow work. Like, okay, is it triggering me because I want what they have? And if so, how can I do that for myself in my own authentic way? Or is it triggering me because I perceive them as more beautiful? Okay, what does beauty mean to me? Because it's subjective and it comes from within us. So it's that constant questioning for myself, and it requires a lot. Being a Sephora Beauty Director adds a whole other layer to that because I'm a representative of the largest beauty retailer, what feels like in the world, And so I do get some online harassment and things that come through occasionally.
Really?
Yeah, just like posts where someone will be kind of like saying something controversial about Sephora or about a brand or something like that. And I get pulled into it just because I'm, the face of it essentially. And having to really create like an energetic boundary for myself around those things and be like, this is not mine to carry. This is not mine to carry, and just like putting it away and blocking it and moving forward.
It's so important to set those boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like because I've been on social media for so long and watched how it has changed
you must feel similar
over the years.
Yeah.
I feel like my relationship with social media has gone through so many ups and downs and different evolutions.
I mean, 15 years.
15 years.
And from the beginning too. So you have really ebbed and flowed with like every trend, every norm,
Yeah. So I started it actually as a blog.
Okay.
So this was back in 2011. And I was in med school at the time. I decided to take a year off in between my second and third years of med school.
Okay.
Which was pretty common. I went to Stanford
Yeah.
and they really encourage people to take a year off to explore their passions. And so I decided to do a fellowship. I was the guinea pig. I was the first one. It was a medical journalism fellowship.
Oh, cool.
Oh my gosh. I would have paid to do
Wow,
that year.
that makes
it was
so much sense. That was the universe
and that
providing.
was seriously, I had no idea back then what like my career would have turned into. You know?
Yeah.
There was no way to predict it or even plan for that. So I wanted to apply for this fellowship. It was a medical journalism fellowship. I was the guinea pig, and it was designed to teach a future physician how to speak to the press about medicine. I mean, I couldn't have even designed this better myself, right? And so they had me
Amazing.
go to the World Health Organization headquarters in Geneva and work in their press office. So I would
so
go
cool.
with their PR team, basically, to communicate to journalists around the world about what the WHO was focusing on, what our priorities were, what the major health crises were around the world.
Okay.
So I did that for the summer, where I got to go spend the summer in Europe.
Oh my gosh.
Working out of Geneva and learning from the press team how to speak to journalists.
Yeah.
Then I went back to Stanford for a quarter, and I took a quarter of journalism classes through their graduate program with other journalists. So I got to learn how to write, edit written pieces, but also how to produce, shoot, and edit my own video pieces.
We have a lot of crossover.
Yeah?
I think so. Just, being a beauty director, because I've done a lot of writing and interviewing and things like that. And then the content creator aspect, the mental health aspect, the beauty. We have a lot of parallels.
We do. This is why we're vibing.
Far more bossy over here.
No.
Stanford, Geneva. Like, wow, how cool.
This was... I was their guinea pig. Like, I remember certain things would come up and then last minute they'd be like, actually, that fell through. Can you just be flexible with it? And I was like, sure, I'll just roll with the punches,
Good for you.
And then the second half of the year, they sent me to New York City to work for Dr. Nancy Snyderman at NBC News.
Okay.
She was their medical correspondent. And so I was embedded in her team. Every morning, we would go to the producers meeting, sit with Brian Williams, who was the anchor at the time for Nightly News, and all of us would go around and they would pitch stories for that night's news. And my team, what we would do is we would look at all the medical studies that were coming up in the next week or two, all the embargoed studies. We'd read them, comb through them, see if there was anything interesting for TV. We would pitch it at the morning meeting, and then if we were picked up, whether it was for Nightly News, The Today Show, or Rock Center, then our team would go with Dr. Nancy. We would go to the field. We would get video. I would go with her to the editing booth, and they'd edit it. And then if she were live, I would get to go to the studio and watch her on stage. Mm-hmm. And it was such a cool opportunity.
I bet you were just like star-eyed.
Oh my gosh, starry-eyed the whole time. I was such a fangirl. And it was such a departure from what I had done my whole life, which was, being interested in health, being pre-med, going to med school. Like, this was a total departure from that.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Did you feel like any level of imposter syndrome with that? Like, you were young, it's like they're just throwing you into this and it's all of a sudden you're like on a news set. Like,
oh my gosh.
Were you thriving or were you like, oh my God.
I've had imposter syndrome my whole life.
I know. So, I think as women, it's kind of like embedded into us until we figure out how to pull it out.
It's so tough, I feel like now as I'm approaching 40, like I'm finally feeling like I deserve to be in the spaces that I occupy.
Oh, yes, you do.
And it's just taken me a long time to get here.
I understand.
But I finally feel empowered in that way, which I'm really excited to say.
I love that.
But yes, I did feel a lot of imposter syndrome being there because obviously had no background in journalism. But I did really appreciate that year for just all the experiences all the exposure I had to things that I never would have experienced otherwise.
Yes.
But part of that year, which then led me to what happened afterwards, was my fellowship director asked me to do this thing called social media. Okay, this was Dr. Michelle Berry. She was the head of the Stanford Global Health Division. She was like, Joyce, you're our first fellow. I've heard of this thing called social media.
Oh, wow.
Please do that. And I was like,
Please do
what?
that.
I had only used social media like very recreationally up to that point. You know, I had a Facebook. I think I was the second class to have Facebook offered in college.
Okay.
This is totally dating myself. But yeah, like this was very early on in Facebook's infancy. And so I had a Facebook, you know, what did I do? I had a Zanga in high school where I would like blog.
I remember that. Yes.
I would just write about I don't know, what I was doing, what I was eating. But I didn't use it in any sort of professional capacity. And so Dr. Berry asked me to start off by blogging.
Okay.
So they gave me a little space on the Global Health website where every week I would log on and write about my adventures for the week. So cool. Like where I was in the world, what projects I was working on, if we did any stories that week, and put some pictures up. And it was really fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
It's such an outlet. Like, I love writing. I've always loved writing.
Yes.
I was really happy when I became a beauty director that's a big part of it, like doing interviews and stuff. And I just made a Substack. So it's like, and I'm sure you're in
like
that
full
world
circle,
as well. Yes.
Going around back to the long form content. And so I enjoyed it so much that after the fellowship was over, I decided to have my own blog hosted off of Stanford so that, you know, I could say whatever I wanted. And I treated it as a creative outlet. Mm-hmm. So at the time I was in med school. And so I would write about the stresses I was under. I'd write about my different experiences, what I was learning as I was going through all the specialties.
You were putting that vulnerability out there and reaping the benefits of it before people even realized.
Oh my gosh. It was like my diary.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a true creative outlet for me.
Just organically felt comfortable in sharing that. It's interesting how some of us are kind of built that way. Like my mom was I would go to the bank and the bank teller would know my entire life story because my mom was there 2 days ago. You know, like it wasn't even a small town like type of vibe. It's just like, that's just how she is. And that's how I am. I'm such like I word vomit I share everything pretty much with some boundaries. But it's interesting how people come up and they're just kind of built that way. Mm-hmm. And it often feels like it is part of their purpose.
Right.
It obviously is for you.
Yeah. I mean, I've always had diaries, like personal diaries. My mom instilled that in me.
That's awesome.
So I have a whole chronicle of my life.
So
I'm
cool.
not even kidding, from when I was like 6 years old.
You have to write a book.
Oh my God. I was wondering, what should I even do with these diaries? They have all my secrets.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I going to, what if I die? Like, who's going to read these? I'll have to have them burned or something. I don't know. Or like buried in my casket. I don't know. No one can read these diaries.
Buried in your casket is kind of epic.
I don't know what to do with them, but it is so interesting to go back and read them and just see.
Oh, that has to be.
Because I've forgotten
so wild.
so much. You
know? I wish that I journaled throughout my life so that I could go back and kind of relive that. That's got to be healing in a way. I mean, you think about working with your inner child as you do, you know, in therapeutic settings and stuff. Right. But to go back and literally read what your inner child was saying, like, wow, that shifts something in you.
Totally.
That's very cool.
And I feel like now that I have kids of my own, I also feel like maybe reading my old diaries can help remind me how it felt to be that age. Yeah. So I can relate to them better. Yes. Because we forget, you know?
Yes. Oh my God, that's really sweet. Yeah. You're probably an amazing mom. How many kids do you have?
I have two. I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl.
Okay.
Yeah, so getting the full experience of boy mom and girl mom, and yeah, it's obviously a lot of work, but
did you grow up in Seattle?
No, I grew up in the Bay. So I'm a California girl.
Okay.
Through and through.
Where in the Bay?
Grew up in let's see, I grew up kind of all over, but like Cupertino, Los Altos, Palo Alto.
Were you moving a lot
Sunnyvale.
For your parents' jobs, or you guys just kind of?
You know, it wasn't even for my parents' job. I don't know why we moved around the Bay Area so much, but it was all within like a 15-mile radius. And so I really lived within a 15-mile radius from when I was born up until I went to New York for that 6-month stint at NBC.
Did you have to change schools?
I did change schools a lot.
This is interesting. I was asking because I feel like, again, just someone who is empathetic, someone who's comfortable sharing their vulnerability, like very organically throughout your life since a young age, someone who is such an eloquent speaker. Like, there is something to moving around as a kid and going to different schools that you kind of learn how to. I was talking about this with Tisha Thompson, the founder of LYS Beauty, Love Yourself Beauty.
Yes.
And she was a military kid, so she moved a bunch. And she was talking about how she intentionally moved her kids out of their high school into a new high school because she's like, they're getting too comfortable. Like, I want to give them the experience of like reinventing themselves, reintroducing themselves, being uncomfortable and learning how to adapt. And I just always find people's childhood so interesting, how they fuel into the work that you end up doing. Like as a kid, my dad would always, I was the youngest and my parents got divorced. And so I spent a lot of one-on-one time with my dad, and he would always take me to jazz clubs, and I would sit at a table with adults and have these conversations. And then I found, I got a little bit older. I'd go to my friend's house. I was talking to the parents the entire time, but I became a conversationalist.
Yes, and you felt very comfortable in those settings.
Yes, with anyone, someone who's older, someone, I could do it.
Yeah.
He set me up so I could do it all. And it's gift. Like that experience for you probably was a little bit of training.
Yeah, in a weird way, I guess. I did not appreciate it at the time.
No, I bet not.
Like I remember moving like in the middle of the year. Why did I go to 2 different schools for 3rd grade? Who knows?
That's
like,
tough.
I went to 6th grade at one location and then finished 7th and 8th at another campus. Like I think part of it too is that my parents are immigrants from Taiwan. And so they did not grow up in the American education system. And so I think my dad was just working. Like that was he was a computer engineer.
He had his head down.
Like he was super, super just like completely like that's all he thought about. And then my mom was responsible for everything at home, including like everything that involved our education.
Yeah.
And she's not fluent in English. And so I think looking back, I'm really amazed at all that she did because there was no internet back then, right? So she would get all of her information through her network. And so she just had such a wide and vast network of other Chinese moms, right? Because then there was no language barrier.
Yeah.
And she would research like summer camps for us and how to get us into certain schools. And I mean, the reason why I randomly went to 6th grade at a different campus was because she was trying to get my brother into a certain campus for his needs. And she couldn't send us to different schools because she couldn't physically drive us to 2 different locations.
Yes.
So I kind of just went along for the ride for wherever it was easier for her to manage my brother's schooling.
Gotcha.
And so looking back, I think she did the best that she could.
Oh, and the intention behind it.
Yes.
That's so
with
beautiful.
the resources that she had. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm very grateful.
And
for
my
that.
gosh, is your mom still with us?
She is. Yeah.
My gosh, how proud she must be of you.
I think she is proud.
I'm
yeah.
yeah.
Asian parents are a little bit different. I mean, but deep down they feel it.
Yes, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of you.
Oh, you're
like
so
hearing that story, I'm like, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
incredible.
It's so interesting. Like I think in Asian families, especially like Taiwan, Japan, Korea, becoming a doctor was kind of like their most highly respected and most stable profession. And I think that's why she encouraged me from a young age to consider going into medicine.
Sure.
Because she always felt like that was the pinnacle of stability and of having a good chance at having a happy, stable life.
Yes.
And also being able to provide for myself and not have to depend on a man. Like that was her big thing for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Mom.
Yeah.
I like your mom.
so
I like her a lot.
It's kind of funny because
So
I feel
true.
like now in this stage of my life, her main worry for me that she always talks to me about is she's like, I just want you to slow down. I want you to have more time with your kids. I don't want you to be so stressed out that you can't take care of yourself.
Presence is such a privilege.
Yeah.
It's so hard to hold on to. I'm constantly striving for it. And when you're an ambitious woman starting your own business, my God, it feels impossible sometimes. And then you are trying to make time for your kids and be there for them.
Yeah, it just makes me really emotional because who
Understandably.
will think about you and put you first other than your mom, right?
Ugh.
She
Yeah.
she now like picks up my daughter. So she basically noticed that I wasn't eating very regularly, because when I'm at the dinner table, oh my God, I'm totally gonna mess up my makeup.
You still look gorgeous. It's not messing up your cheeks at all. And we have a makeup artist here,
That's true.
We'll take care of you as needed.
So my mom noticed that at the dinner table,
Thank you, my
I'm constantly like being pulled in many directions by my children because they want time with mom because they probably feel like they don't get enough time with me.
Yeah.
And so as soon as they finish eating, they're eating quickly and then they pull me away.
Yeah.
And so my mom comes over to visit and she notices that like I never get to finish a meal. And so now she wants to pick up my daughter from daycare 3 times a week and take her to their house and feed her and bathe her and get her ready for bed so that I have that time after work to eat a full meal and like have some time to decompress. And it's like, who's going to do that for you other than like
your mom?
Your mom.
I know. I know. And it's like, I'm so glad that you're sharing it. Thank you for sharing this, especially so vulnerably, like, because there are so many moms out there who can't sit down and eat a meal. I know growing up, my mom never sat down at the table with us. It was like, it's such a core memory for me. Like, I was like, where and when does she eat? She never sat down at the table.
What was she doing when you were eating? Was she taking care of you guys?
Yeah, cleaning the kitchen, just doing household things. It's just, there is so much unseen emotional and mental labor that mothers take on. Yeah. That they hold. And I just have so much admiration and respect for mom's capacity. But it's also like, it's kind of like the term resilience. Like, I've used the term resilience a lot in my life. I've had a lot of death in my life. And so the more I lose people, the more I'm like, okay, I'm becoming more resilient. But what does that word actually mean? Like, your resilience to be able to go and not sit down and eat a whole meal. Like, at a certain point, it actually becomes kind of negative. And are we using that term to uplift each other, or are we using that term to kind of help support the systems that are in place in our society that kind of tell us that you need to keep going and you have to hustle and you are a human doing, not a human being, like I was talking about. And so I think one of the most beautiful gifts that your mom is giving you with that, from the experience of being the daughter of a mom who did the same thing, is that your daughter gets to see you sit down and eat a meal and how impactful that will be for her. Yeah. Because she's going to say, I also deserve that. Like, I also deserve that presence. It took me a long time in my life to peel those layers off my onion, like I was saying, where it's like, no, I'm worthy of these things because I never saw my mom act or say that she was worthy of those things. So I had to figure out that I was. And that was really hard. Yeah. And so by you doing that and leading by example, like, I just, again, as a kid of that, like, it's going to be so beautiful for your kids. And like, I just love the matriarchy so much. I love moms. Yeah. We love moms.
We love moms. I wonder if your mom was similar in that, like, sacrifice was one of her love languages, maybe?
Yes.
Like, sacrificing her time, her energy, her sleep for her kids. Like, that's one of my mom's love languages. And so when I'm still very close with my mom, we moved them down the street. So they live 10 minutes walking,
so nice.
3 stop signs away.
3 stop signs away. That's very cute.
So we talk a lot, and she is always stressing to me. She's like, sacrifice doesn't have to be your love language. Like, you can love your kids in other ways that don't take away from your physical and emotional health. And it's so interesting to me because I felt like that was her love language, but she doesn't want that for me because it hurts her to see.
Y'all are breaking generational trauma.
I know.
And how cool that your mom has the awareness of it, because I think so often the generation above that exemplifies that to the point where, like, you finally realize that you want to change that. You don't always get that connection. You don't always get that awareness. Like, that's so cool that she's like, no, I want different for you.
Yeah.
And I think every mom has some aspect of that. For my mom, it wasn't specifically, wanting to give me my self-worth and value, but I remember I lost my mom to melanoma. So I'm very passionate about your work, and thank you. And I was 18, And I was in college when she was in the hospital for about a year and a half. And, you know, I remember sitting in her room doing my projects and like just looking at her and being like, Mom, can I just take a break from school so I can be with you? Like, I don't know what's going on. And she was like, absolutely not. I was like, what if I go to the campus in San Diego? Because she was in San Diego versus LA. And she was like, absolutely not. Like, you're going to continue. And for her, her career journey, she wanted to become an interior designer and she never had that self-worth. And she told me a story where she went to an interview for like an internship in interior design and the man sexually harassed her. And it broke her and she decided not to pursue
Oh my gosh.
the work anymore. And so I think for her and for me, now I'm going to cry. I think for her and for me, it was like, she was like, I don't care how sick I am. Like, that's how deep it was. It's like, I don't care how sick I am. Like, you are going to follow your dreams. Like, you're going to pursue this. You're going to find your independence. You're not going to stay in San Diego. You're going to move out. You're going to experience people and culture and life. Like, she wanted that so deeply for me. And like, for her to self-sacrifice when she's so sick, it's like, mothers are just, they're beasts in the best way.
I agree.
So much respect.
She wanted you to live out your dreams.
Yeah.
You know,
She didn't get to. And I think that I really believe that, and there, you know, there's probably science behind this, but I haven't researched it, but I really believe that energy continues on. You know, your mom passes away, her energy stays with you. Her energy is in you because you came from her. And so I think when we can live our lives in a way that they couldn't, we're healing their energy too.
100%. Yeah. And I feel like part of why my mom wanted to encourage me to go into medicine was because that was kind of like an unrealized dream for her. Yeah. To have a thriving career. And
Well, and
to
like
be really
you said, the
independent.
stability and independence.
And to have that stability.
I think it's so badass that she was like, I don't want you to depend on a man for money, because that was probably a little ahead of the time. Yeah. You know, now I think moms who have young kids are thinking that way more so, but that's really cool that she instilled that in you, because it's not that like you can't build with your partner, whoever they are. I think that's beautiful to build together, but to be stuck in a situation because you can't stand on your own 2 feet is very scary. And where we are in the world, especially as women in the workplace, we've accelerated so quickly, and I think society's catching up with us. Like, childcare needs to be a conversation.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you know, all of these things.
Yes.
You know, we're doing what they said, but
childcare support, it is so hard. And I think medicine's one of the worst places when it comes to supporting moms. Yeah.
I can believe that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I need another tissue.
Girl.
This is what happens when two empaths
I know.
We're just like,
I seem to have this effect on people. But you got me too. So it's yes.
So in medicine, right, you go through medical school and then you go through residency, maybe fellowship, and then you become an attending and you can practice. And so you have to go through the residency training program in order to get accredited, in order to take the board exam, in order to become a practicing doctor. Right. And so I think there have been strides made in making residency training a bit more friendly towards family planning. But when I was training, it was so difficult. And dermatology was perhaps one of the more family-friendly fields in training, because it was outpatient, right? And so we were seeing patients from like 8 to 5. Okay. But I have many friends who were in surgery residencies during times that they wanted to have kids. And they were telling me the most horrific stories of having 2-week maternity leaves. 4-week maternity leaves.
That's insane.
I mean, one of my friends who was at NYU with me, actually, she went back after 2 weeks. And she said that she scrubbed in for like a 10-hour case, and the elevator was broken that day. She was climbing the stairs.
Oh my goodness.
She had to pump, and she said like the mind warp. Like, she just felt like she was not even, like, she was like dissociating.
I mean, there's so much chemically going on as it is.
I can't even imagine.
It's just so, I mean, I'm not a mother and I'm so angry about it. It's like, it's so frustrating how it's like we've been telling women you can do it all, you can have it all. It's like, yeah,
Yes.
but we need the infrastructure to do
So
so. And
frustrating.
women have
Yeah.
such high capacities for self-sacrifice. I mean, when you
Mm-hmm.
talk about not eating at the dinner table because you're taking care of your kids, I've been in the same type of mode in a different way through workaholicism, if you will. Like when I was in a different mode of my career and I would just not eat all day and not think about it until the night. And then I'd get into the shower and I'd start crying and be like, what's happening? Oh my gosh. Well, this has just been, you exceeded my expectations, and my expectations were already so positive because just looking at your, like, it's so evident that you've been doing this as long as you have and that you've been sharing yourself as you do, as long as you have through your content, because even your content that is fun and not surface level, but more just educational versus emotional or kind of getting into the depths of it, like I force everyone to do here. Oh no.
Oh no, it's back.
Get out of here.
Unpaid actor who won't go away.
This is going to be the cut down for social.
It
Just
wants
us
to be
trying
part of it.
get a fly.
It wants to get in on the action.
There's just so much of like relatability and personality. Like you can watch one of your videos where you're talking about literally just educating, and like you can connect to you. And that's again like an energy thing, even through digital platforms. I just feel like you were built for this. And this conversation was so beautiful. The themes that you brought up were so necessary. And like I haven't tapped on a lot of those here on this podcast. So thank you. And thank you for allowing yourself to feel in front of people, because I know there's so many people that need to see others doing this so we can connect. The world's a scary place right now. And so I'm just so excited. And girl, your products are gorgeous. I'm so thrilled for this journey for you. I love your ethos behind your brand, the change that you're trying to create, the empathy that you have for the people that you're creating for. And I really think that's going to go so far. I'm just so excited for you. And you've got a cheerleader in me.
Oh, thank you. I feel like I'm in this kind of unique place because I do see it from the derm professional angle.
Absolutely.
From patients, what they're missing. And, I know what to give them. Like, I know what prescriptions to give them. I know what over-the-counter things to recommend. But if my patients are not going to enjoy using the products, like, they're not going to want to use them. And compliance is so much of what determines whether you succeed or not in your treatments. And so I wanted to create something that, yes, is what you would expect a dermatologist would create, very science-backed, putting it through all the clinical testing. But I also wanted it to be beautiful. I wanted it to be easy to use.
Your bottle's right there. We might as well grab it because it's gorgeous. Because like that's the thing you don't
part of the experience,
and it is. It's part of being in a ritual of self-care and making it feel luxurious, making it feel like you're doing something good for yourself versus like I have to do this because I feel shame around it. It's like. And I think that's the setting that you create for your clients, and that's the ethos behind this brand. And I hope people feel that because I feel that.
You articulated it better than I could have articulated it. That's exactly it. I want people to feel like they're doing something good for themselves and that this is part of their self-care, not just checking off a box and doing something a doctor told them to do.
And like no hate on prescriptions because sometimes you need to, but like even like the packaging and the bottles, it's like you put that on your, it just doesn't like this feels right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That means a lot. I'm so excited for people to try it and kind of feel my heart in these products.
They will.
I kind of feel like, when I was talking to the marketing team about how I want it to look and feel, I'm like, I want it to look and feel like a dermatologist with a warm bedside manner, in these products.
That's exactly what I was thinking because I'm like, you are the perfect doctor in my eyes. I think across the board, you're such a good example for that field. Being able to bring together your expert point of view and your professional experiences with the empathy and with the holistic approach. I have so much gratitude for that as someone who has struggled with, our mental health care system. And
Yes.
it's not always perfect, and we're all just human doing our best. But I love that you have a platform and that you're using it to influence that change.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
Yes.
This
Oh
has
my
been
gosh.
such an amazing.
I'm so happy
I
to
feel
know
like we
you.
could talk for like hours.
Bianca. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Where can everybody find you?
So I am at T with MD because it's like, having T with
TEA.
your doctor, TEA with MD.
So cute.
On all the social platforms. And then this is obviously at Kerativ Hair. And I'm on all the platforms, Instagram, TikTok. I make long form videos on
So
YouTube.
good.
Still blogging over on Substack.
Yes, and funny and educational and relatable. Like, definitely give her a follow. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
has been amazing.
And thank you for flying in. Every time someone comes in, I'm just like, I really, really appreciate you. So thank you.
She just left. We were crying. We were having such a good time.
We were crying and having such a good time. That was like a love fest. Like, the entire thing was a love fest. Like, it's so funny because, and this is why I love that Brandon has a mic and occasionally like jumps in, because everyone in this space, my cats, Bianca from her PR team, me, Joyce, Brandon, like everyone is contributing to the energy in this space. And like when we were both crying, I think Brandon and Bianca were tearing up. Like that was healing. And that's why I love doing this so much, because I get to sit here and connect with people and heal and shift something inside of us and connect and feel less alone and more hopeful. And I hope that that's what this does for you all too, because that's definitely my intention. And as always, please let me know if you have any feedback, comments, ideas, questions for Dr. Joyce. You can put into the comments. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all of those things so you know when new episodes are launching and so that you can support me. I so appreciate it. Leaving reviews is amazing. So for those of you who have, thank you so much. It means the world. And yeah, I'm just such a big fan of Dr. Joyce Park after this. Like, we connected on such a deep level and I'm so grateful for it. So I hope that you all check her out, support her, check out her brand. It's gorgeous. Find her on socials, and I'm sending you all of my love, and I'll see you next time. Bye.